The Pulse with Andy Blake, presented by Coca-Cola in association with BSP Life and supported by Fiji Link, Fiji Airways and Captain Cook Cruises Fiji.
The Rainforest Ecolodge stands on the remnants of an ancient volcanic plug in the iconic Colo-I-Suva rainforest. It was Fiji's first purpose-built ecotourism resort filled with natural beauty and ecosystems. And the rainforest is teeming with tropical plants and vivid and melodic bird life, including a 6.5-kilometer walking trail that navigates you into clear natural pools and swimming holes. The lodge consists of 7 bures and 3 studio rooms that roost neatly around its main attraction, the lake. The lodge also includes a swimming pool, bar, conference room and restaurant.
What I think is very special about this place, Andy, is that reconnect with nature that we offer. And when you come back here, you sit by the lake, you're having a coffee or you're having lunch or perhaps dinner. It just takes you to a place, and a lot of it brings back memories of places where some people have been before, or just home. And it's the feeling like that we love to portray.
It's easy to see why this lodge is popular. The melodic experience you get when you are up here sanctions you to rejuvenate your mind, soul and body. And when it comes to dining, nothing trumps a lakeside view with the enjoyments of succulent meal selections from the lodge's Batiniwai restaurant, popular for their Pacific fusion styled meals. There is a good deal to absorb when you explore the outsides of the lodge, but the mana is also a bit of an experience when you head inside. The mbures and studio rooms is the ultimate example of a nature getaway. Secluded into the forest settings, Rainforest Ecolodge gives their guests the calm and relaxing feeling that they deserve when looking to get away from it all. And if you are lucky, the gentle sounds of the rainforest pigeons will entertain you as you drift off to relaxation. Pure bliss. Fiji Link flies up to 3 times daily into Nausori International Airport from Nandi, and guests can enjoy a 20-minute scenic taxi ride from Nausori International Airport to the Rainforest Ecolodge.
The Pulse with Andy Blake, presented by Coca-Cola in association with BSP Life and supported by Fiji Link, Fiji Airways and Captain Cook Cruises Fiji.
Bula and welcome back to The Pulse. I trust you are having a great evening from whatever part of our beautiful country you are joining me from. Live on MyTV, across our MyTV Facebook page, including our viewers watching on our YouTube platform. Thank you for your company. Before the break, my Eat, Stay, Love profile on the Rainforest Eco Lodge in the scenic Colo-I-Suva Rainforest, just outside our capital city. And you can get the chance to experience this Eco Lodge by winning a night for two in one of the comfortable lake view rooms. Details at the end of the show. Now let's head to the hidden paradise of Savusavu and check in with Koro's Son Adventure Dives for the Homegrown segment this week. Meet Rodney and Maureen Simpson, owners of Koro's Son Adventure Dives, a PADI certified scuba diving operation with a fully equipped dive shop and custom-built dive boats.
Okay, thank you. My name's Rodney Simpson. I'm from Savusavu, born and bred here. Lived here all my life and I don't intend to leave Savusavu.
Bula everybody, I'm Maureen Simpson. I'm married to Rodney Simpson.
And with the business, our dive shop is called Dive for Life. Dive for Life is based at Koro's Son Resort. So if you want to find us, come to Koro's Son Resort. And Dive for Life is basically a recreational dive company. We offer dive certifications. You can get certified all the way from open water to dive master level. And also we offer specialty courses for those of you that have already got your licenses and would like to go into the specialty field. We offer that, and also nitrox certification. And apart from that, we also offer just basic dive tours for those that have licenses. And with our dive sites, they're just located 5 minutes from the resort. Okay, basically what inspired me personally, because I started diving way before my wife. That's is right. I had a passion for the ocean from a very young age. You know, growing up beside the shoreline, running along the beaches, swimming every day after school, and would skip school just to go out of the ocean. And we started basically by just spear fishing and catching fish and just enjoying ourselves. Well, like every business, there's always challenges. First of all, financially. You know, we don't have all the money in the world to go start buying all big fancy boats, equipment like other big resorts. So that was one of our biggest challenges from the beginning. But then, I spoke to a few people that were my mentor. They encouraged me. They said, nothing is impossible. If you believe in something, you'll find something.
Yes,
you'll find a way to get it going. So we managed to get some funds from areas and got a bit of small loan that helped us. And
from friends and family who helped us start this business. And we moved from there. And I think it's through hard work and perseverance and a lot of passion for the cause.
The dive company provides introductory scuba instruction, full open water, advanced open water, rescue diver, emergency first response, dive master and specialty certifications, and is located at the Koro's Son Resort in Savusavu.
Meeting all different kinds of people, walks of life. As they walk into the dive shop from everywhere in the world, and then you take them out diving, and then they see how spectacular it is out there still. When they go out with me, and after they come out of the water, and they just say, "Oh my gosh, that's awesome!" And it's just, in my heart, I just tell myself, "Oh my gosh,
It's we were doing well before COVID, and when it hit, it just kind of dropped us right to the bottom, and but we had no other choice. The business was down, so it impacted us very badly. And we're just so grateful that everything's back to normal, and we only hope that it gets better.
Like before, we used to spend a lot, like with expenses and stuff. We buy things that's not really important to the business and all this kind of thing. And now we've learned our lesson, and we know how to save more and try to make things work. Of whatever little we have, we make it work?
We're basically based out of Koro Resort, and you can find us on the Koro Resort website, and there's phone numbers there, and also email addresses that, and you can also look at our company, the stuff that we offer. But it's basically all on the Koro Resort website, and Koro Resort is easy to find. It's in Savusavu. Even though we're the hidden paradise, we stand out in in paradise. My advice to all you small businesses: never lose hope.
That's right. Yes.
When you face challenges, use that to make you stronger.
That's right.
Never dwell on it. When your business is down, never be disheartened. You know, never, because I was like that. I lost hope. But then something in me just clicked and it said, no, I cannot do this. And I'm so grateful that I stood up and I set a positive mindset towards it, and it's happening. So for all of you out there, just remember, there's hope. Just believe in yourself that you can do it, and it's going to happen.
This week in Culture Explained, I profile one of the most delicious food delicacies of the Tailevu province, the Bila, a fermented bread that you can enjoy when you visit the Nosori market on Saturdays. Bila is prepared from cassava by peeling and dicing a few sticks to about 1 to 2 centimeters in size before soaking it in water for 3 days. This is the fermentation process that furnishes its unique flavor. After the 3 days, the fermented cassava is mashed and squeezed dry to certain moisture content before sugar and finely grated coconut are added and thoroughly mixed into a dough-like paste. The dough is then segmented into portions before spooning it into washed ngai or vasili leaves. Each wrap is secured with string and carefully placed into boiling water to cook for about an hour. Once the Bila is cooked, it is taken out of the boiling water to cool before eating. You will discover the tastiest Bila sold in the Nosori market on Saturdays by Anatui Sese from Mokani village. One of the tastiest food delicacies found in the Tailevu province, the Bila, my profile in Culture Explained, and before that, Homegrown with Rodney and Maureen Simpson of Koro Adventure Dives in Savusavu. Be sure to check them out when in the Hidden Paradise next. Time for a short break. I talano with Fijian music legend and queen of jazz, Michelle Rounds next. See you soon.
You feel it, I feel it, it's in the pulse. It's in the pulse. It's in the pulse.
The Pulse with Andy Blake, presented by Coca-Cola in association with BSP Life and supported by Fiji Link, Fiji Airways and Captain Cook Cruises Fiji.
Bila and welcome back to The Pulse. I trust you're enjoying the show this evening. Now let's meet one of the icons of Fijian music, my talanoa with the music legend Michelle Rounds. This Pacifica jazz vocalist lives in Cairo, Egypt, a country that links Northeast Africa with the Middle East. And Michelle was a familiar face and performer during the 90s, having won 2 awards for Best Album and Best Female Vocalist for the Draw Blood album of Tuiravai and the Freelancers at the 1996 Vakalutu Vode Awards, Fiji's version of the Grammys in the 90s. This is her talanoa on the show this week.
My name is Michelle Rounds. I was born in Australia. My mother is from New Zealand and her parents were from the UK. My great-grandmother was Scottish, Grandmum Matilda Mackenzie. On my grandfather's side, we don't have a lot of information. And then on my dad's side, his father was Alfred Henry Rounds. The village that, our Rounds village is in Nasinga Singanilava. and that's just past the Pearl Hotel in Pacific Harbour, Ndeumba. So I went to St. Joseph Secondary School, and I had left school. I had completed all my schooling at the age of 16, and that was because I started school when I was still 4 years old in Australia. I was almost 5, but I was actually still 4. So when we moved to Fiji, I had to go up a grade, which was something to do with the discrepancy just in the education system. So I had finished at 16, and my parents were like, no, she can't go to work yet. So I did 1 year at the School of Hotel and Catering in Nasese, and that was for hotel reception and front office management. I loved that. It was really good. And straight after that, 1980, at the beginning, we moved back to Australia, and I started working at the North Sydney Travel Lodge. So I did work at the Suva Travel Lodge then, which is now Holiday Inn. Now you are watching me from my home in Cairo, Egypt. I came to Egypt on a 3-month contract with Mbale Lambasa Namborisi, one of our guitarists. He actually replaced Tom Maui Mbosolevu. And Tom at that time was undergoing surgery. That was when he was in hospital, and he has of course fully recovered, thank goodness. We originally came out to Luxor in Egypt. We thought we were coming to the pyramids. We didn't. We went to Luxor, which was amazing. And we did a 3-month contract at the Hilton, which had just reopened. They liked us. We did 6 months, so they extended the contract. Mbale Lambasa went back to Fiji, and I stayed in Luxor. I loved it. After a year, I moved up to Cairo because I needed to work. And I've pretty much been in Cairo ever since. I met my husband in 2011. That was the year of the revolution. When I first came to Egypt, I absolutely loved it. My love affair with Egypt has slowly waned. It went right down to the point where I absolutely didn't want to be here. I don't want anything to do with it. It's driving me crazy. And I think this was to do with the whole society and what happened after the revolution and how hard it was for most people. I'm starting to get my love back, and the area that we live in is downtown. We're very close to Tahrir. It is an amazing country. It's very magical. That's Egypt. I'm a 3rd-generation musician, as most of our viewers in Fiji would know. My father was a professional musician, even though he was also an architect. That's where he drew his main income, but he also played professionally prior to that. My grandmother was a musician. She had, I think, the first all-girl band in Fiji. And that would have been in the 40s, I imagine. So they are professional musicians, composers. My dad wrote music, Fiji, Miss Hibiscus, Fiji Red Hibiscus, all of these songs with my Uncle Ted Beddoes. So for me, it's just a generational thing. We were brought up with the music, of course, my Uncle Victor Rounds. And no one ever said, oh, you're a good singer, or no one ever said anything. We can all sing. One of the things I found interesting was when each child was born, my mother would check to see that we all had, the right number of fingers and toes, and my father would wait. He would just wait to see, can they sing in tune? Can they sing in tune? And the reason he was worried about that was because my mother and her family are not really that in tune. So he was very worried that his children wouldn't have an ear, but we all can sing. So all of both myself and my siblings, there are 5 of us, we can all sing, we can all play. No one ever pushed us or said, you've got to be a musician or this one. You were just allowed to go. You just rolled. And then whoever wanted to do it was then picked up and gone, right, you want to do it? You do it professionally. My uncle was just like Victor. He just said, oh, you're going to sing now, are you? Okay, well, you'll work with this guy and that guy. And he just organized it. And it's a blessing to be in a family of musicians. But, as I say, very professional. There was no such thing as, I think I'll try it and let's see what happens. It was like, okay, then you're going to do it. When I was 16, I ran out, skipped to the nightclubs, and I would watch the DJs and the musicians. When I got caught, my family were horrified, like, what are you doing in the nightclubs? I said, I have to see the musicians. I have to see what's what's going on. Then they realized that I wasn't there to drink or to find boys. I was there because of my interest, my passion for music. Marika Ngata, of course, Tom Maui, just so many people. Anil Kumar, an amazing, beautiful bassist friend of mine. Homer Bentley, Homer Fare, just wow. So many great memories. Everybody in Fiji, all the Fijian people, you know, I have everybody, we're all so amazing. You're amazing, we're amazing, and I'm proud to be part of this. I have a Chinese friend. He was brought up by his father. He and his two brothers were brought up by their father, no mother. His father was a ndalo farmer in Colo-I-Suva, and he put his sons through Yatsen. People who are working the land, people, entrepreneurs, people who are doing amazing things socially, politically, but people who are working, families, parents, children who are studying, just everybody in Fiji is so amazing. I'm so proud to be part of this community. Working and living in Japan was amazing. Two of the gigs that come to mind that were unreal was performing in the garden, in the grounds of a samurai castle. I didn't even know I was going to do that. I was there for a festival, and then they said, oh, can you do another gig here? And I'm just like, I stood on the stage and I was just like, wow, this is amazing. For them, it's nothing, but for me, it was like, wow. And then another one was a private promotional gig for weddings. Weddings, the chapel that had been built, and florists. So this was a private event. I sang while holding a bouquet that had been styled out of dried dead flowers and dead things. I sat in a chair similar to this in a mound of rice. There was a hill of rice underneath me, brown rice. And I had my hair cut while I was singing. That was wow. And my pianist, a young Japanese girl, she had long hair right past her bottom, and she sat there playing piano, and she was having her hair cut, and she could see the hair falling, big long chunks of hair falling to the ground, and she was, that was pretty unreal. All the jazz festivals that I've attended, all the festivals that I've been part of, working with APRA, mentoring, all of that's unreal. Yeah. Menopause has been horrible for me, so I'm really glad that it's almost behind me. It was horrendous for me, and coupled with chronic depression. I would say chronic depression. If you had asked me this question even a few months ago, I couldn't have answered it this way, but now I feel that chronic depression really is behind me. Put chronic depression with menopause, you don't have a good combination. It's been hard, it was hard. And just being constantly miserable, like sad within, melancholy, you know, morose, all the artiste feelings, but which are very real and are genuine. But I'm so grateful that I can truly say that this is behind me now. Thanks to being in Egypt, thanks to my husband and family. Oh, I'm passionate about recycling, repurposing, reusing. I'm passionate about languages. Actually, these earrings are recycled glass made in Egypt. I love my furs. I have a huge love for furs, and I only buy vintage because, you know, I don't really want to support modern fur, the modern fur industry. So I buy vintage, and then like with this one, I just relined it myself. Like I took off the old lining, I relined it myself. I love to reuse, like I'll buy a pair of secondhand silk pants for $2, and then I'll turn it into a skirt and I'll wear it to a gig. I love that sort of stuff. Sort of nothing and everything, if you know what I mean. You know, the media just talks about you. I have been dubbed the sultry jazz diva for decades. I don't know where that came from, but it's like every country I went to, it's like they read something and picked up on it and they used it. So wherever I went in the world, I've always been the sultry jazz diva. So I just thought, okay, you know what? I'll just be that. That's fine with me. We can keep that. I did read something where I said, oh golly, I don't even use the word golly, so that made me laugh. But otherwise, I think pretty much everything in the media is spot on. It is what it is. Nostalgic memories. I mean, in the 90s, I was working with Turava and the Freelancers. That was phenomenal. And of course, I had a regular gig every Thursday night. It was called Jazz in the Gallery with Mboso Levu Tom Maui. That was really important to me. That was very special because I had watched him as a child, you know, and I'm watching him, and I feel that my parents admire and respect him greatly, and my whole family thinks he's the god, you know, of music. And here I am working with him for 3 years that was a blessing. That's a tough one. I think so many people have given me so much advice and I probably haven't taken it. So I don't have an answer to that. You know, my advice to everybody else is just to be kind. It's not hard to be kind. You don't know what other people are going through. It is not the same as you. If I had chronic depression and somebody else has it, it's not the same. People look at me, they might look at my Instagram and say, oh, what's she depressed about? You have no idea. You have no idea. You don't know me. So I think, and my mother always said, I guess, you know, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Treat others the way you want to be treated. That is so powerful, actually. That is so powerful because that is the energy that you put out is the energy you're going to get back. That's it. Relaxing like everybody else does. I lie down a lot. I love swimming. I like to read. I love watching old Japanese movies. I watch a lot of black and white cinema, Japanese movies and stuff like that. Ozu Yasujiro, yeah. Yeah, it's a very strange question. I don't feel that I'm a person that needs to be remembered for anything. I just, you know, I mean, I'm not a big star. I'm just a person doing what I do, and I've been fortunate enough to make a living from that. So I hope that people would remember me as being a kind person. Okay, Japan, as I said, I adore Japan, and my friends say I'm more Japanese than they are. When I first went to Japan, it was for a 3-month contract. They didn't speak English. 2 of my bassists had a little English. I learned to count in Japanese to 169. And that was because I had 169 songs. So when I chose a song, I would call out the number in Japanese and they would flick, flick, flick through the book and find the song, and that's how they did it. They would play it. I love Japan. It's in my heart, it's in my blood. I would move there in an instant if there was a way to do so. But of course, there's so much going on in the world right now. But yeah, Japan is definitely the people are so kind, the people are beautiful. I've had so many wonderful things happen and so many beautiful times. I've been my happiest in Japan. Yeah, that's a crazy question for a musician. I don't think anyone has one favorite song. I have so many songs and so many genres that I like. I like opera and reggae. I love reggae. Something that I can always listen to and that actually moves me is Watarase, which is a tune by Itabashi Fumio. He's an amazing pianist, Japanese pianist, and that I can never tire of. Okay, please, YouTube, please follow my YouTube, everybody. Michelle Rounds, of course, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I have just released Rhythm of the Evening. That's out on all platforms. You'll find all my music on all the platforms, Amazon, Spotify, whatever it is you're using, YouTube, you'll find it there. So also, of course, the website, michellerounds.com. So yes, just keep an eye on all of the social media. And as I said, my manager, Suluo, is also very, very conscientious about what's being put out, and he's keeping everybody up to date as well. We have the International Jazz Day happening on the 30th of April. So I'm going to do that again, Andy, in case this comes out later. We had International Jazz Day on the 30th of April, which was fantastic, and I'm always heavily involved with that. I'm Michelle Rounds, and I'm on the pulse with Andy Blake.
Fijian music legend and queen of jazz, Michelle Rounds, and her Talano with me from her home in Cairo, Egypt. Thank you, Michelle, for this opportunity, and I wish you well in your music career in the Middle East. You can keep up to date with Michelle by following her Facebook page, Michelle Rounds, or her website, michellerounds.com. And that wraps The Pulse this week. I trust you enjoyed our show. Now, on the show this week, I'm giving away a night for 2 people to enjoy the lush and scenic surrounds of the Colo-I-Suva Rainforest and stay in one of the lake view rooms of the Rainforest Ecolodge. To get the opportunity to win this giveaway, head to the Pulse with Andy Blake Facebook page, like the page if you haven't already, and share the page with your family and friends across your social media platforms. And one of you will be selected at random to win this week's giveaway. Good luck, start liking and sharing. I look forward to your company again next week right here on my TV. For comments and questions, send us a message via our Facebook page, The Pulse with Andy Blake. Remember to like the page and give this video a big thumbs up. You can also watch this episode again via our MyTV YouTube channel and our Eat, Stay, Love segments on board Fiji Airways in-flight entertainment from May 1st. I look forward to your company again next week. For now, enjoy the rest of your evening and stay safe. Nisama Demanda.
The Pulse with Andy Blake, presented by Coca-Cola in association with BSP Life and supported by Fiji Link, Fiji Airways and Captain Cook Cruises Fiji.